About 9 o'clock it started getting really bad, and that's when it started shoving my boat against the dock and knocked a hole in the side. So I got out of it and got in my car. The boat hit the piling, and it lifted the lid on the side of the boat and then breached a hole through the wall, through the sidewall. So yeah, you got no time. And then it listed, and then it took on water and sank. The wind was probably, I don't know, 100 plus, maybe 130, 140. There was a couple of times when it was probably even going faster than that.
This is something that I thought was going to happen when I heard Harvey was coming in as a Category 1. I had a feeling that my building was going to be shaken to the timbers, and this was going to happen. I was hoping it wasn't, but I had a feeling it was, because this is an old building here since the 50s. I'm melancholy. I can't believe this is happening, and I have no apartment. My apartment was decimated. I have no studio, so now I got to find a place to go to put my artwork. I don't know, so if you know anyone who's got a gallery that I can show my beautiful paintings, I would love to know.
Happy, how are you?
Yeah, coming, hang on.
Of course, Aransas Pass, just a few miles down the road from that, they also got slammed really hard by Harvey.
KZTV anchor John Rapolo witnessed the storm's fury firsthand, and he filed this report.
The rattle of destruction in Aransas Pass.
We took a hard hit from this storm last night. It was a very rough night.
When Harvey finally hit late in the afternoon, so began gusts of winds of up to 130 miles per hour and steady rain. Boats overturned in the waterways and many roads impassable. The town stripped of the basics: water, power, and phone service.
We have no power unless you have your own generator. We got no phone, no internet, no nothing. We have no communication with the real world other than one satellite phone right now is what we're using.
This used to be someone's home. There are many like this in Aransas Pass that have been completely destroyed. David Medina lives right next door.
It scared the mess out of me.
This rental truck overturned by powerful winds in a parking lot on Wheeler Ave. And the side of this business made of brick came tumbling down. The biggest concern, though, was human life. First responders could not get to calls because it was too dangerous to take out emergency vehicles.
They're responding to all the calls that we received. The priority ones, we had people in homes that had collapsed. They were trapped in the hallway that had been waiting 8, 9, 10 hours for us to get out there.
And even the Emergency Operations Center, where first responders hunkered down, felt Harvey's wrath. Part of the roof fell apart in one section. Officials say it will take weeks to restore power and utilities in this community. John Rapolo, Chris 6 News.
We want to go back now to our top story tonight, that giant storm blasting the state of Texas with potentially catastrophic flooding. We turn again now to ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano, who's been in the middle of it all. Rob?
And Tom, less than 24 hours ago, those winds came ashore, 130 miles an hour. Rockport devastated, just ferocious winds. And now that spiral is just inland northwest of Victoria. Just a tropical storm, but as long as that circulation is there, you see it very clearly. We're going to still get a lot of rain off the Gulf of Mexico. And then for tonight, the threat for tornadoes persists north and east of the center. A tornado watch remains in effect. Spiral bands and heavy rain potentially for South Texas and South Louisiana for the next several days, Tom. So flooding will be an issue.
It's a fucking tornado.
It's on the ground. Yeah. Smell it. Go, should we turn things off? What should we do? It's coming this way. No, it's debris. Go away. Yep.
It's turned into a deadly situation in Houston. Harris County Fire is estimating over 1,000 people rescued overnight. Officials declared a catastrophic flooding emergency for parts of Houston Metro. KTRK-TV reported that residents have been forced into their attics to escape rising water. Hurricane Harvey has been downgraded to a tropical storm, but it's stalled and continues to drop a vast amount of rain across southeast Texas. Hobby Airport was closed early today due to standing water on runways with no inbound or outbound flights. Berry Bayou in Harris County reported an estimated 20 inches of rainfall from Tropical Storm Harvey. Parts of southeast Houston reported 12 to 14 inches of rain in just 6 hours overnight.
That is the theater there in front of LG, and it's like a river.
Okay, so there's still a lot of areas that are under those flood warnings that we've been telling you about. So let's talk.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they were even able to open the door because, you know, after a certain point, the water pressure, you aren't able to open that door. So I don't know. It seems like they might have had some sort of conversation. I'm not exactly sure. I'm trying to kind of walk over here and get a slightly better vantage point. There's another truck coming behind. Possibly they'll try with that truck as well. I just kind of walked over here, and the vantage point and seeing some of these signs completely underwater right now, really, it is incredible.
Trying to go south from Houston. We're going to keep our eye for the moment on that Coast Guard helicopter. We probably have a pretty good shot.
They're going to use a light fixture. Please hurry.
It's right at knee level now. And living room, and then we come over here, and as we look out the back window here, oops, let me push down a little bit for you guys. There's the floodwaters that we saw upstairs. They're actually right below the window here in our music room here that looks out into the bayou area. You see all that?
And there have been scores of rescues overnight and into the morning in Houston. That is where we find Mark Strassman. Mark?
Good morning, Christine. I'm standing in one example of the flash flooding that is all over the city of Houston. You can think of this city as a series of islands, areas completely surrounded by water. That's there's an on-ramp to I-10 behind me, and it's the same story in Houston all over the place. You can't get there from here. Everything is completely impassable. I think folks here are waking up to a harsh reality, which is that they see what water is here, they look at the forecast, and they realize that they are in for an extraordinary and potentially traumatic week. They've already had 6 inches of rain in an hour, up to 14 inches of rain in 3 hours, up to 30 inches of rain in 24 hours. And the forecast says that this rain is going to just keep coming. One local meteorologist said that this city will get a year's worth of rain, a year's worth, just in this storm. So there's a flood evacuation, a flood emergency order in effect. People being told to stay off the road, stay indoors, find high ground, and stay in that high ground. Some people have even been climbing into attics. The police chief says if you're going to do that, you need to bring an axe. Why? Because if the water rises up to the attic, you need to have a way to get out. And the axe, maybe you could punch through to the roof and get out that way. And that, of course, brings up another point, which is that the Coast Guard has already begun urban search and rescue operations. If you recall, the Coast Guard plucking people off the rooftops in New Orleans during Katrina. The reality is that could become the case here too if the rain keeps falling, if the waters continue to rise and people have no place to go. Christina, truly an emerging crisis here in Houston and for the surrounding areas too.
To think things are going to look worse than they do now, Mark, is just absolutely devastating. Thank you for that update from Houston.